people go to work and a lot of times they dealing with things that they don't want to even deal with. Then they probably got to sit in traffic to come home, right? They had to sit in traffic to go to work too. Then, not that it's against you or nothing, but you probably don't even got dinner ready, and they hungry, they hungry. You need to have that food ready, and then you want to talk instead of getting to the dinner. Then you want to talk instead of getting to the dinner.
Preach!
You know what I'm saying?
Shh, be quiet.
Welcome to the PowerTrip Podcast. We're your hosts,
Charmaine
and Saquon.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
What's up, people? Today we're coming to you with a new podcast
about arguments.
Yep.
We all have them.
Yep. We're bringing to you some good practices to resolve arguments and kind of stay away from them. And
effectively disagree with your partner.
Yeah,
okay.
Good way to put it. Effectively disagree with your partner. It is healthy.
Right.
I do believe.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I believe it too.
So,
and last podcast, we talked to you guys about just general communication and why it's important. So if you haven't seen that podcast, go check that out. We dropped a lot of gems there. And we're just following up with that and being more specific and dealing with arguments in relationships.
Yes. So to start this off, we want to let you guys know, in a relationship, you should expect arguments.
Yes.
Or rather, disagreements.
Right.
Expect them.
Yes.
You guys are two individuals that are coming together, and a lot of times that creates a clash.
Yeah. You have two different upbringings, two different mindsets and perspectives. So you're not going to see everything the same way. You're not going to agree on everything. You're two individuals uniting as one.
Yeah, I like to say it's kind of like a diamond. It takes a lot of pressure to make that diamond. And,
well, look at us.
Yeah.
We're diamonds. Yeah, so don't think that your relationship is doomed or it's not healthy or it's not worth it just because you and your partner have disagreements or arguments.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing to focus on is
Excuse
Kaiser.
Yes.
I think the biggest thing to focus on is how can we have these disagreements, these conversations, and have those not be toxic and those be effective to where we both feel heard and understood and we both can get our point across without feeling like the other person devalues us.
Yeah, and reaching that common ground.
Yes.
Where both individuals are happy.
Exactly. Yep. It's possible.
So like we said before, let's get into the benefits of arguing.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say disagreements this time because there are no benefits to arguing, in my opinion. I would say that, maybe not a controlled argument. If it's just wild and...
right, just emotions flying everywhere. No one's listening to each other.
Yeah.
There's no benefit to it.
Zero at all.
Because at the end, you just leave hurt, upset, unheard, devalued, things that we just said earlier. Like,
correct.
You're not going to... No one wins.
At all.
When the family feuds.
But a benefit of nice, controlled, effective disagreement. Man, I like that.
Thank you, baby.
But an effective disagreement, some benefits would be basically it helps you boost your communication skills.
Yes.
And your skills, and it helps you open up that communication with your partner.
Yes.
Basically, the more and more I'm able to say to you without there being repercussions,
right?
I feel more free as time goes on with my partner to express my feelings.
Yes. So that's a big thing. It's like you want to feel safe.
Correct.
When you're bringing something that it may not be easy for you to bring or may cause a little friction within your relationship to your partner. And you want to be sure that your partner is going to be able to receive it And like he said, not have any negative repercussions when you're trying to be vulnerable.
Yes.
So that is a huge benefit that, like he said, it opens up that communication and being able to say more than what most people typically would be because they're afraid of the reaction.
Yeah. So let me see. What's another benefit? Another benefit is when you're able to have effective disagreements, right? It prevents misunderstandings.
Right.
Because
my gosh. Miscommunication is the biggest reason
yeah,
for arguments.
Or not even miscommunication, misunderstandings.
Understanding, true.
Because sometimes you can do something that someone may not understand why you even did it.
Right.
You know?
Because like we said earlier, you're two different people.
Exactly.
So I may think something makes perfect sense in my head and I'm just going forward with it. And then to him, his perspective could be like, oh, what the heck is she doing? Like, why would she do that?
Yeah. Or you may have hurt your partner within the process.
Unintentionally.
You know? Exactly. Unintentionally.
Right. So definitely it clears the room of misunderstandings when you have effective disagreements.
Yep.
Because you're able to explain your side and your partner's able to listen and hear what you're saying and vice versa.
Yeah.
And then also another benefit is that you are able to release tension.
Oh.
So you're able to release tension. You're able to release some of your worries that you may have been holding back and the fears. Like we said, you want to feel safe bringing to your partner your issues.
Yeah.
And any disagreements or any things that you may feel uncomfortable with. Even if it's something as far as like, let's say, financial situations and you're feeling like you're in a bind, but you don't want to tell your partner because you're supposed to be the man of the house and you're supposed to be the provider. If you can have effective discussions with your partner and feel safe bringing those things to them, even if they may be upset about it, if you mishandled money or something like that, then it's like, okay, this is not all on my shoulders by myself. We're a team. We're going to get through this together.
Correct.
So it releases that anxiety, that fear, that worry, that tension that you could have been having, holding it into yourself. And all of it, like we said, kind of boils down to it brings you guys closer together as a couple.
That's true.
Yes.
So what are the kinds of arguing? To start it off, everyone knows when you're angry and you're arguing, you say things that you don't mean at all. Yes. Some people may believe that, you're selling the truth at that point.
Right.
No. At that point, you're kind of like, it's like fight or flight. You know, at that point, what you're doing, your goal is to hurt.
Yes. You get into a defense.
Yeah.
So you're like, listen, I gotta go for the gut.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to protect yourself.
Yeah. So that person that you love, you know, your goal is never to necessarily hurt them, especially when you're in the right state of mind. Your goal is never to hurt that person. So you have to remember that, you know, when you're in an arguing state or in a angry state or irate state, you know, you're possibly able to do something that you know,
regret. You may regret, and you can't take back words. Like, you can apologize, but those words still sting.
Exactly. You still did it.
Yeah.
You still said it, and that's the bottom line.
Right. So that is huge, is you do say things that you regret. And sometimes also, you, like, it can be like half-truths. So you can really feel like, oh, my partner does this a lot to me. But you say always, like, you always do this.
Yeah.
Or, you never clean up after yourself. And it's like that's very hurtful because for one, it's not true. Your partner, I'm sure, cleans up after themselves, does the dishes, takes out the garbage, does whatever. But when you're frustrated because, it may be a week where they're really tired from work or something, and they may have slipped 3 days out of the 5. So you're frustrated and you're like, oh, you never clean up. I'm always doing all the work. That is another downfall to arguing. Yeah,
that could it kind of like takes a shot at somebody's ego or confidence and things like that. And I mean, that in that sense, it kind of speaks of you really can't speak as freely as you think you can when it comes to your partner. I heard that somewhere and I thought it was really like good. People think that because you choose to spend the rest of your life with this person or whatever, it's just no hold bars and you could just do whatever. Something I heard was, if you went to work and your manager made you just as upset, would you necessarily do the same thing?
No, people would have self-control.
Yeah.
And they would not just talk to their manager any type of way.
Correct.
So if you won't do that to your manager, that's not your life partner, but you can go home and be angry and irate and let it all out on your significant other, that's a problem.
It's not cool.
It's not cool at all. You have to have respect for your partner, and you should have more respect for your partner than anyone else.
Yep.
And I think you should respect everybody, but I'm just saying you should hold your partner at a higher standard.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like it.
What else
Listen,
here?
y'all, we dropping jewels, okay?
And so you wanna throw one in?
So thanks, baby. So you can also make drastic decisions that you, like I already said earlier with the words, you can make choices that you may regret. So you can break things. You can throw away your ring, or, do something, burn pictures, do something crazy. And then when you're in more of a sane, relaxed, calm state of mind, you're going to regret it because you wish, oh man, why did I break my phone? Why did I break his phone? Now we got to buy a new one. Why did I burn those pictures? I can't get those back. Mm-hmm. So when you're angry, that's another con. It's like when you're angry, you may do things, when you're arguing ineffectively, and you're just going off of emotion, you may do things and make drastic decisions that you'll regret later. Man.
So another thing that you will regret later will be bringing up the past.
Oh, yes.
Bringing up the past, it never leads to any positivity.
Right.
Because in my opinion, and I'm a work in progress, but in my opinion, nothing in the past is equivalent to the present situation. And even if it lines up with the actions, the feelings that you have towards the situation are not equal. Right. Something that had happened right there a minute ago, you may feel more about that situation than you feel about the situation in the past.
Right.
So your goal should be to stay on that one situation.
Please. Stay in the present.
Yeah. And when you're arguing and you're irate, what happens is you start to bring up all your other frustrations.
Right.
All your other frustrations start to come into that conversation and take it to other places. And if you ask me, it kind of, if that person already feels like it's an attack, this bringing up any more is just going to make it feel like more of an attack. It's like you're trying to
pack up that gun with ammunition.
Correct.
And just let it rip. And I feel like, baby, that also leads to the next point where you're just complaining, but there's no solution.
Yeah, that's
why you're bringing up the past, because you guys never resolved that issue from the past. So now you're saying, okay, well, you did this, this, and this. That's just like when you did X, Y, and Z. If you would have resolved that issue prior to, then it would have been, okay, that's done with. Let's just focus on what's happening right here. So that's another con to arguing, is that a lot of times it's just, you're just going in circles. You're just complaining, but you're not truly getting to the root of the matter. Yeah. You're not truly creating a solution to actually solve it and move forward.
So in that sense, try not to lose track of the topic. Try your best not to lose track of the topic. Try to stay on that.
Right.
Once you address that topic, try your best to move forward. You have to move forward. Sitting there talking about anything else other than what happened is kind of pointless.
Yeah, and that's another con to just going off of emotions, is you tend to do that. And listen, y'all, we are both a work in progress, and we're still growing. We're human. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're sharing this stuff with you guys because this is things that we've put into practice, and we continuously, consciously try to put this into practice to better our relationship. And we want to share with you guys in the hopes that it'll help you guys through your relationship.
Yeah.
So, that's a great one, is that you can lose track of what the actual problem was, because and we talked about this kind of in the communication episode 13. But it's like you can start on one thing and then you get lost in the details and you just get off track, and then you forget why you even started arguing in the first place. That's a big con when you're going off of emotions. And then lastly, a big con is name calling. So sometimes when you get angry and when you're just arguing and you're just going at each other, you just start calling each other names like, oh, you didn't get that, you dummy, or
I was
or
just
you
about to
liar,
say,
or something.
Those simple things.
And it doesn't have to
some
be
people go
disrespectful.
a little bit past that. Cursing, other things.
That we say like little things. Well, not really. We don't typically name call.
Yeah, and you can't say it's little. I mean,
well, it's not little, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't be dating an idiot. I wouldn't be dating a liar. Or you calling someone simply stupid or dumb or anything like that. Out of frustration. It's like, would you really be dating that person if they were dumb?
Yeah, and usually the name that you usually call somebody, right? You call them that all the time. So you have to think about the fact that you're constantly telling someone that, so you're drilling that in their head.
That's a good point.
You believe that they are this.
Yes, and that breeds insecurity within your relationship. And within your relationship, because for one, there's like, wow, so this person really thinks that I'm dumb, or this person really thinks that I'm a liar. And like you said, that breeds insecurity within yourself. But then also, it's like, wow, I thought we had a better relationship than this. This is how they view me. So that, yes, those are all cons to arguing and just going off of emotion and being irate.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
All right, so what can be the cause of these arguments?
So we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier in this podcast. So just your different family dynamics.
Okay.
We come from two different family upbringings. Everybody, like, no matter how similar your upbringings can be, everything did not function the same way in each other's households.
That's true.
So it's like I come with all of this stuff and these thought patterns and ways of living, and so does he from his family and me from my family, and now we're coming together and we're building a life together. So it's like, okay, these things don't necessarily coincide easily. How are we going to make them work together? What things do we want to change and just say, hey, that wasn't even really a great trait, let's just leave that alone, or this was really beneficial in my household, I want to make sure that we incorporate it. So I think that can be a big cause of an argument, because certain things that may have been acceptable in your household weren't for me. And so if you think it's fine to do it because that's all you know, it can offend me. And then for me, it's like, that's how we can start an argument.
That's true.
And vice versa. So I think that's a big reason for some arguments.
Yeah, I could see that. And I guess following your upbringing with your parents, I think you can throw in the society things that kind of go inside of that,
like expectations, or
it's kind of like these, but within your upbringing, it's your environment too. It's not always just your family. It's your environment. Some things that you do just pick up from your environment and not your family. And I guess that does lead into expectations of what someone should be. Yeah, based on what you saw. Someone could love you to death, right? But if you expect them to wear a certain pair of shoes all the time, or not wear something that you don't like, or if you expect it to be like the movies or what you read in books or saw on TV, that's listen, y'all. You can miss your blessing.
You will miss your blessing.
Yeah.
And it's a lesson learned. Everyone's on a journey, and sometimes everything happens for a reason. But don't have these so high expectations to where you lose something that's so great right in front of you, because in my opinion, the goal is to grow with your partner. Like, we have so many goals and dreams and aspirations that if I said, okay, this is what I want for my life, like I want to have acres of land, and I want this and I want that, and I want my man to be able to do this and that, and I said, well, I'm not there yet, but I expect him to be there. First of all, it's unfair.
Yeah.
It's not realistic. Because, I mean, granted, you can find a guy who's there, but something I always say too is like, you know how parents are like, well, I want you to marry a doctor, I want you to marry someone with money, or a lawyer. It's like, you can marry someone with money and they can be hitting you every day. That's so true. Just because someone fits this checklist of these superficial things doesn't mean that that's a true and great connection that you'll have to that person. Yeah. So I think that also can start an argument is when someone falls short of your expectations because you're basing it off of either your parents' relationships or your friends' relationships or something you saw on TV or in the movies. You have this ideal in your head, and when that person doesn't live up to it because they're human, then it's like that can cause, friction within the relationship.
Yeah. And ladies, what you guys got to remember is this. No,
I got you, ladies, if he goes crazy.
Life is not a fairy tale. So sometimes you may expect everything to be so perfect, and it might not play out perfect. And I'm not trying to knock the perfection. It can possibly happen. But you got to remember that everybody's not perfect. So sometimes some things just don't play out exactly how you expected it.
And that's
to
just
be.
Life in general. It doesn't even have to be relationships.
Yeah.
You can have a plan for your life and you see all the twists and turns and ups and downs you have to go through to get to that goal. So it's like, have values, have, integrity, have things that you want, but also don't be so strict and not flexible to where you can't adjust yourself to say, okay, you know what? I see this person is working towards everything and I see their drive and their passion and they're doing X, Y, and Z and they fit everything else. Let me at least give it a try.
Yeah, don't say no because of superficial things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of superficial things. You got to think about yourself. It's a lot of superficial things that you may be progressing towards,
but not there yet.
Yeah, but not there. That person could be doing the same thing. And I mean, shoot, sometimes two is better than one when you're going to get it anyway.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yep. All right. So that was, we kind of went on a little tangent, but that was a reason that arguments do start as well. It's because of expectations. Another thing is, another reason arguments start is because of finances.
Oh, yeah.
So finances, oh, man, that's actually one of the top reasons for divorce today.
Yeah.
Is because of finances.
I feel like it's always been.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
it's not going anywhere.
Right. So that's something that you want to make sure that you get nipped in the bud early. And if you guys haven't seen, we have a podcast on joint bank accounts and budgeting, which will be very beneficial for you guys to check out.
Check that in the description.
Yes, sir. And then also the reason why finances is such an issue is because, once again, we're different. People are different. So you can have someone who enjoys spending and, let's say that you want to collect shoes or you want to collect hats or something like that. And the other person's a saver. They're very frugal. They don't want to spend. They will go to a secondhand store and, buy things cheaper because they want to save their money. If you're not on the same page with that and you guys are living in one household, and one person feels like, okay, well, you're doing all the spending and now the bills are falling onto me because you irresponsibly handled your money, that's going to cause friction. Yeah. Or vice versa. If someone wants to go on vacation and, you're like, listen, you guys have a good amount saved up, but you're like, oh, well, I just want to save with no goal just to save. It's going to be frustrating to someone who wants to say, hey, let's do a family vacation. Let's just go have a good time. Let's release. Like we've done we've done the hard work. Now let's enjoy a little bit. Yeah. So I think being on the same page with that and making sure you have open and honest discussions about what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, with or without money.
That. Exactly.
With or without money, you got to be on the same page with your finances, how you're going to be spending, saving.
Goals.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
Watch our joint bank account video.
Yeah.
We went in detail about that.
Right. And I think when you're married, a joint bank account is amazing. Yeah. Especially if you're on the same page.
I think we're on month 3.
Yeah.
Month 3 of our joint bank account. I mean, we're only a weekend of being married, but we've had our joint bank account for 3 months, and we've seen a lot of benefits from it.
So many benefits, and you just see your money grow so much quicker, and crazy. You reach your goals so much quicker. It's just awesome, guys. So check out that joint bank account video.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed this last episode, and if you gained valuable information from it and would like to see our full episode, which we discuss effective tools so that you can have effective disagreements, head over to our Patreon where you can see the full episode.
Yes, for as low as $2, you can get full access to the full version of the audio over on our Patreon. And you also have the opportunity to have a monthly one-on-one talk with yours truly.
Hey. So also be on the lookout for more opportunities and merch coming your way soon. It'll be all on Patreon. So head over there, guys.
Don't miss out.
All right. Till next time.